The new hunting dagger is overpowered. Now, I believe this update is a W, but before I start highlighting some of the good things for this update, I do want to talk about some of the bad things because Epic did miss on a few things. The major thing is the freeze glitch, or having an issue where you get set back in time. So right here is a screenshot of me where it looks like I have a zip line, but really it's I used my grapple, it froze the game, and then just about a minute later, it actually crashed the game. And when I went back into the game, which took about 5 minutes to actually load back up in the servers, it actually reset me back 4 to 5 minutes worth of gameplay. So the dagger that I created and the materials that I made, or all of the stuff I grabbed from my workers, I had to redo all of that again. Now that was something they talked about fixing in this patch, and clearly that was something they missed on and weren't actually able to do. Now Epic also went ahead and patched the glitch where you could use an epic sword or just swords on different types of wood and it wouldn't actually affect the durability. Now, and not seen in this video specifically here, but when you go and you try to use a sword up on trees, cactuses in the desert, but then also trees in the grassland, you will find out that that sword, whether that's epic or normal, is now going to start to decay and the durability will actually start to lower. So patching this glitch isn't the worst thing in the world. This definitely was not designed for the sword, so I am kind of glad that they fixed it, but it will take farming wood and smaller items just a little bit more time to do. Now, something they didn't patch was the Grappler refresh glitch. You guys can see now that it looks like there's durability on all of my grapplers, where 2 of them are extremely low, and that just means that they don't have many uses left, but you still see how many uses you have. But you guys could still use that respawn glitch where you keep all of your grapplers in your backpack, drop all of your other items, respawn into your bed, pick up the items that you had, and make sure that your inventory and quick bar are filled up. And then when you pick up that backpack, your grapplers will fall onto the floor and they will actually refresh up to 30. I know a lot of people said that this wasn't worth it and that it took too much time. However, if you guys have more than just one grappler that you're running around with, it's absolutely worth it. I carry 3 around with me at all times. It does take up extra inventory spaces. However, when I refresh this out in the wild, I get 90 refreshes every single time. So thankfully, they didn't patch the Grappler refresh glitch, because if they did patch this, it really would have been a harder time for every single one of us to go ahead and play Lego Fortnite. Now, something else that they fixed for us, which I mentioned in yesterday's video, was you now can assign your villagers to actually do work on wood. So inside of resource jobs, it will now say refine wood, and you could start assigning your villagers to go out there and get you wood, wooden rods, and planks in your home village. This is really nice because obviously it is annoying to go out there and focus on grabbing wood and rods and things like that when you're more focused on stuff that's in the snow biome. However, now when you speak to your person, they will offer you different rods or different woods that they go ahead and find. I talked to the sunflower way too early, so she only gave me just a few rods out of this. However, if you wait the full hour, they'll give you 30 of each, which is really nice. Before we talk about the best thing that they've added in the game, let's break down the brand new hunting dagger. They went ahead and they released 4 of these: the uncommon, the common, the epic, and the rare version of this. It requires granite, bone, marble, cut amber, obsidian slab, cut ruby, or malachite slab and cut sapphire. If you're struggling to get any of these unlocked, you just need to have one of those items in your inventory and it'll unlock the recipe. Now, adding 3 essence of damage onto this dagger makes it just as good as the sword, if not better. And in my opinion, it is the most overpowered weapon in the game. It does a minimum damage of 14. The minimum damage for a sword is 18. However, the dagger does 4 to 5 swings before he has to reload his swing, where the sword is 3 swings. You also get the critical damage buff with the dagger, which can do a maximum of 21, which a sword cannot do. Now, the best way to use the dagger is to not have a torch bound, and then also use that crouch or that sneak feature to come up behind every single one of your enemies. By doing this, you will get the critical strike damage when you hit your enemy. So you guys could see I got a few few 21s in there, and then a bunch of 14s. This thing attacks, again, 5 times before your player needs to recharge, which again is much faster than what a sword can do. Now, I definitely look like a noob here because I didn't have my dodge key actually set on my account. For whatever reason, that got completely unbound. However, what I found, especially when it comes to the brutes, the dagger does an amazing job because your brutes will always turn their back to you while they load up their attacks. And if you guys just have decent movement and use that dodge feature, you guys will constantly be able to actually dodge your way behind the brute and hit them for critical damage the entire time. Again, I was messing up here because I didn't have that dodge actually set on my account. However, when I figured out how to get behind the brute and hit them for that critical damage, these fights could take very little to no time at all, whether that's a grasslands brute or up against this dry valley or snow brute. Hitting them from critical damage is very easy and is by far the best thing that you could do in the game, and is definitely much better than using the sword right now. Now, this is a huge shout out to my Discord server. If you guys aren't subscribed to the channel and aren't in that Discord server, you guys are truly missing out. Inside of the Desert Valley cave and inside of the snow biome caves, when you guys actually get rid of the skeletons, they will actually drop you some dynamite, which will now help you farm inside of these caves. Now, that's not even the best thing about the skeletons now. A lot of people thought they were annoying and ignored them, but now you'll find out that they drop bright core and other specific things that belong to those caves. This dagger will actually go ahead and 3-shot any of these shell crabs that drop the bright core, but the skeletons are really important to try to get rid of because, like I said, they drop you dynamite, which makes it extremely easy to farm in here without having to use your pickaxe, but they also will occasionally drop you bright core, blast core, ruby, or anything that is specific to that cave. Now, I will say some items which are rare to find in caves are also rare to find from these skeletons. So don't go into these caves thinking if I kill 100 skeletons, I'm gonna have 40 ruby. You may not get any ruby. You might not get any blast core or bright core. It's still a very rare drop, but it is more than nothing, which is always something positive. Now, I overall think that today's update was a W. The new weapon is awesome and works extremely well. The new skeletons work extremely well. I think that there's a lot of positives that came from today. We still have some negatives, of course. They're working on that, and we just have to trust that they're going to go ahead and fix those issues. Keep in mind, they did go ahead and tell us that V28.30's update is where we're going to expect a lot of fun. Now, they didn't say anything about the V28.10 update at the middle of January, and they didn't say anything about today's update. So if you guys really want to get amped up for this game, I imagine that they're really preparing something nice for the update that should come on February 20th, or just sometime between February 19th and 23rd from what leakers have told us so far. Let me know what you guys think of the update down in the comment section below, but I hope that you guys enjoy this as much as I do.